All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar with Lupagus. Vikings got a little bit of a bye week. We're going to have some lovely topics for you all damn week. We aren't going anywhere. This episode, top 5 surprises for the Vikings so far. Top 5, and this episode is brought to you by
Top to Tater. No surprise how delicious this dip is. It's the perfect match for any chip, any veggie you want to put in there. It is the dip that truly tastes like home. Made right here in Minnesota. It's the dip people come back home for.
Come back home for, stay home for. I know a lot of people have not even moved out of this area so they can still get it. You can dip anything in this thing. Recipe unchanged for like 60 plus years. Get to the store, get yourself some Top the Tater. Let's talk some 5 surprises for the Vikings in no particular order, and let us know your big surprises down in the comments. But Lupagus, where should we start? I'm nervous.
Well, I want to start with an honorable mention. I know he didn't crack our top 5, but I do think it's worth noting.
Starting with this guy for.
I'm going to start because it's an honorable mention. He's not officially in the top 5, but Blake Brandel. Preseason, he's kind of named the starter early. Didn't re-sign Dalton Reisner. Everybody's like, oh my God, what are we doing here? Taking a chance on Blake Brandel to play our left guard. What does he do? He's exceeded expectations. 1 sack alone, just a handful of pressures. The guy's been fantastic. Yes, he's had some penalties in recent games. The whole offense has kind of struggled here the last couple of games. You cannot deny Blake Brandel has been better than expected.
Yes, well, hats off mostly to the coaching staff of finally getting him in there. Love it. We could potentially have our left. I mean, he's still not that old, so we'll see. So Blake Brandel, well done. Clean up those penalties. Let's get into the real list. And one of the biggest surprises for me anyways, Vikings rank second in stopping the rush, 67 yards a game. And last year, I mean, we were top 10. I think we were like 9, but like top 2 is insane. It's absolutely insane. Defensive line. Defense is a whole.
Well done. Well, and then our linebackers, Ivan Pace Jr. flying in there, Blake Cashman flying in there, also Kamu when he was put in action, he's making the stops. Harrison Phillips has been an absolute beast. I believe the Vikings are tied also for first with rushing touchdowns allowed, the fewest in the league. One bad game, Jordan Mason kind of was getting there for a while, week 2. But other than that, the Vikings have tightened that up, and yeah, very tough to run this Vikings defense.
Well, and you can sit and say, teams aren't running against you. They're not. I mean, Josh Jacobs, 51 yards, Singletary, 37, Cam Akers, 21, Breece Hall, 23, and Hall had a handful of carries. It's like they're not running because they're not getting anything. They're not doing anything. They're down, so they got to be throwing the ball. So it's a great problem to have. This defensive line, I've seen it multiple times, not even just in Vikings land, but like media talking about this defensive line, how underrated it is. Jerry Tillery. I mean, he's not going to light up the stat sheet by any means, but Jerry Tillery, Jonathan Bullard, these guys, they're all coming together, and they're playing damn good.
Taki Taimani as well, the big old boy. Hard to move when he's in there in the middle, stuffing up those lanes. Let's go to our kicker, Will Reichard. We all hoped he would be good. We all hoped we had a real kicker. Fingers were crossed. Had a great preseason. And you know what? He's perfect. He's perfect.
He is. 9 for 9 for field goals, 3 for 3 for 50 plus, 16 to 16 on extra points. And we figured he was like, we all hoped he was going to be good, but how good he's been is surprising. And these numbers don't even do it justice. The 9 for 9s, like a lot of these were clutch kicks. They weren't just 32 yarders to put us up by 15. They were very important kicks. So he's been very battle tested early in his career.
Yeah, and you win a game by 6 points in London, and he has 9 field goals, or 9 points from field goals, 11 points overall. His leg was huge in the Vikings winning that game. The 58-yarder that he hit with plenty of extra distance. It's just like, we keep saying it. You can go get a beer, go to the bathroom when he's kicking because you know it's going to be good.
Speaking of Will Reichard, this month from the 1st to the 31st, any Super Chats will get a chance to be entered in to win a Will Reichard jersey. So every Super Chat you do, you get your name in the hat. And we already have a handful from October 1st to today. So you guys are obviously in there. But Super Chats, they can be on lives. They can be on this video. Anything. Get a chance to win that Will Reichard jersey.
It's going to be worth money. It's going to be worth money.
I don't know about that. I mean, probably need to get it signed or something. But all right, let's go to the free agent class. A big surprise free agent class. Vikings bring in all these new names and just hope and pray that they're going to all just play well together, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And there's some on the offense too, but this might be the best free agent class in NFL history.
And it's not even, I don't think it's an overstatement. Jonathan Grenard, Andrew Van Ginkel, Blake Cashman, Aaron Jones, Shaq Griffin. I mentioned missing a whole bunch.
Tillery.
Yeah, Gilmore Artillery. It's crazy. Like you see, like free agent classes in the past, even from other teams, they spend a ton of money, they bring all these guys. Like, oh my god, this team's gonna be so good. It doesn't materialize. It doesn't gel. Maybe someone gets hurt. Someone's just not as good. Maybe they just got that paycheck and just weren't as good as the team thought when they're paying for them. This whole entire free agent class, even the little guys like Trent Sherfield, are producing at what they're supposed to be doing. It's unreal. The production the Vikings have gotten on this group.
Yeah, so early. Usually you get a pass like, oh, let's just let them get a feel for the Vikings and their coaching staff and, their new environment, whatever. Gilmore wasn't even here for the preseason. Shaq Griffin was hurt almost the whole time. I mean, the fact these guys are out there, Ginkle was hurt. Aaron Jones didn't get any. Aaron Jones averaging 4.9 yards a carry. Blake Cashman leading the team in tackles. Ginks got 3 sacks, 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns. It's absolutely insane. And I don't know. Aaron Jones is on a 1-year contract. Gilmore probably is great, but they got to look at this. Some of these guys they're not spry young chickens. They might have to bring these guys back.
They might. One guy we'd even mention is the next guy on this list, Sam Darnold, another free agent addition. Sam Darnold, we hoped he would be all right. We hoped he'd be sufficient. We hope maybe he'd just not make a bunch of mistakes. He's gone out and played at an MVP level for the Vikings for the first 5 games.
MVP, 11 touchdowns, 4 picks. That $10 million contract, when it happened at 3 a.m, I remember to get up and cut a whiz, and I'm like, what the hell? We signed Sam Darnold. It's living up to it's exceeding expectations. He is playing fantastic. Last week, even injured. He's been injured a couple of games, and he's still producing. He's still doing enough. But Sam Darnold is making himself some money. The Vikings, you imagine Nick Mullins on this team. We're not 5-0. Sam Darnold is having a huge impact.
And not just the way he's playing on the field, but also how he's carrying himself on and off the field. I mean, his press conferences, he's talking like a leader. He is acting like a leader. He's someone everybody's looking up to and expecting them to lead this team to victory every week. Sam Darnold playing like an MVP and acting like one too.
You act like an MVP. Get your butts to that local grocery store. Get you some Tater. Chips, veggies, fingers. Everything goes in there and everything tastes delicious.
It does. And let's go to the biggest surprise of the Vikings through the first 5 games. They're 5-0. 5 wins, 0 losses. No one saw this coming.
5 rip, baby. 5 rip. I mean, even the people who predicted us, maybe 12-5, whatever, the big time. Nobody expected 5-0. We ran through the gauntlet with this schedule right out of the gates. It was absolutely insane. We should not have won these games, but we said, screw it. We're way better than you. And we did win these games. And nobody saw 5-0. Yeah. Only other team, Chiefs, unbeaten in the NFL.
Yeah, really the only win most on our schedule was that first week against the Giants. I mean, and there's reasons why. 49ers, NFC champions last year. Texans, AFC divisional team last year, lost in the divisional round. Packers, a team everybody's predicting to be NFC champions, NFC North champions, maybe even push for an NFC champion. And then the Jets were a favorite team this year because all the additions they made to their O-line, having Aaron Rodgers back healthy. These were all expected to be losses because these teams were supposed to be very, very good. And some of them are very good. The Vikings just turned out to be a lot better.
A lot better. National media is just hopping on I love when they're saying, it doesn't matter. They're going to find a way to beat you. It doesn't matter if it's their offense, their defense, whatever it is. They have the coaching staff is so damn good. They know exactly how they're going to beat you. And that's why we've only been trailing for 3 minutes and 16 seconds, something like that. An absolutely insane stat. They got the Lions coming up. But we'll see how that shakes up. But for now, we're 5-0.
5-0.
Get those super chats going. Get a Will Reichard jersey. Imagine showing up to Christmas in that baby. Will Reichard jersey and a tub of this in your hand.
You'll get all the presents. Everybody will give you
the presents. Happy holidays, everybody.
Take them all. Just take all the presents right now.
All right, let us know your biggest surprises down in the comments.
And remember this, buffalo can live up to 15 years in the wild and 25 years if they're in captivity.
Unreal.